They show you the wins, the cars, the lifestyle, the watches, but what they don't show you or talk about is the loneliness, the weight of losing by yourself in a room when no one knows what you're doing. People don't support you, you're by yourself. And this is a natural part and a rite of passage that every trader is going to go through. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about the loneliest part about being a trader that no one's going to speak about because it's not exciting, it's not flashy, it's not fun. This is the reality. So the trading like people on social media, I've mentioned this before, they glamorize the fun, lifestyle, materialism, and they don't talk about anything of the isolation or the loneliness. It's all about profits, excitement, because that's what's going to convert you into buying their course. If they showed you a video of them sat in their room trading, most people don't want to see that. They want to get hooked on the dopamine of the fun, the excitement, the lifestyle they want to have. And as much as that is achievable, they're not showing the isolation, the loneliness, the depression, the sad times, feeling like you're on your own because a lot of the time you're isolated by yourself in a room learning, but you're also isolated in society because a lot of people aren't go down a completely different route. They might have a job, they might go to university, and that's what I found. I was learning trading by myself in my house when all my friends went off to school, university, got jobs, apprenticeships, and it was difficult. It was lonely. And this is natural, a natural part of trading, and I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate to this. What nobody shows, and you're not going to see this on social media, like I mentioned, because no one really talks about it, but you're not going to see your friends or people because you're locked away. I spent many years locked away in my room. I would see certain friends, but a lot of the time I was just in my room learning to trade, losing, winning, having consistent months, having inconsistent months, but overall, I wasn't socializing with lots of people because I wasn't working a job which is surrounded by lots of people, and I was just focused on this skill. And it does get lonely. You have a lot of people ask you questions when you do see people. They go, "Oh, what are you doing now?" Assuming you're going to say you're working a job, or you've got an apprenticeship, or you're going to university. And when I said, "Oh, I'm doing trading," you'd have negative comments like, "Oh, you're just gambling," or not understanding or supporting what you're doing. And that can enhance and that can amplify the loneliness you feel because not only are you by yourself, but no one else is relating to what you're doing. Lack of understanding and support is understandable because it's natural that people aren't going to understand the path that most people go down. If you're going down a different path, people aren't going to understand it. And as a byproduct, they're not going to support it because they seek comfort. And when you're doing a path that's uncomfortable, walking down a path that's uncomfortable, it's difficult. People assume you're gambling, they assume it won't work. And then not only do you have the pressure to prove to yourself and prove that you were correct in the decisions, even though people doubted you, you have the pressure to perform. And those two, when you're trying to perform and make good returns, and you have the pressure of proving yourself right in front of others, it can be extremely difficult and it can take its toll. No one in life is guiding you because I'm sure, and I've faced this, not many people or nobody who I knew was trading. No one knew about trading and no one understood it. So I had no one to really turn to, and you feel alone. And guys, I can empathize. I know exactly what you're feeling. And this video is for hope and to give you hope that it's okay to feel this way and how to navigate through this. It's natural. If you're getting value from this video, make sure you hit the like, comment, and subscribe button. 80% of people aren't subscribed. We're on the road to 6k subs. You guys have been smashing it lately. So if you want to subscribe to see my journey, full, real, honest, transparent journey, me documenting my whole journey on here, being open and honest, I would appreciate like, comment, and subscribe. It would help me out a lot. So after all that, the psychological toll, it can lead to self-doubt. You're doubting yourself, which is the worst place to be. You have to be 100% self-assured that you're going to make this work and that you're going to be profitable. If you have any ounce of doubt, it can affect your decision making and it can lead you to making poor choices and inevitably not making good returns and losing. No accountability because there's no one to speak to and you're by yourself. I found for the first year that I was doing it by myself, I wasn't in a community, I wasn't talking to my friends too much about it. I was struggling to learn because I was just by myself. I was internalizing everything and I was sat by myself trying to make this work and trying to learn, but I had no one to speak to. No, if I had someone that I knew was trading that had gone through this path, then it would have helped me because they would have told me, "Don't worry, I know how you're feeling. This is what you need to be doing." But because everyone goes to uni or gets jobs or apprenticeships, people can guide those people. But if you're doing not just trading but any business and you're trying to make this work, you have no one to speak to and it can take its toll. Like I mentioned, pressure to perform, but pressure to prove you're making the right decision. It's the two goes hand in hand. Like you're trying to perform and make money, but you're also in the back of your mind trying to prove other people wrong that constantly doubt you, and that's difficult because you're then going to put emotion into the decisions. If you're having a losing streak, you might go more risky and FOMO into positions to try and get that money back, and you're not with a logical plan. You're not sticking with a logical plan because you're solely trying to prove yourself right, and it can become a mess. When you're winning, it's okay. When you're having winning weeks and you're up, you think you're on top of the world, you know what you're doing, and you think, okay, all of this is worth it. But inevitably in trading, drawdown's going to occur, and you're going to have losing weeks, and that's the toughest. When people ask, how was your week, or what have you been up to, or, they assume you're just lounging about doing nothing. And not only are you a bit negative about the fact that they're speaking that way about you, but when you're also dealing with a negative loss of money, loss of ego, like hurt of ego by being wrong, it can get psychologically difficult. Everyone else is usually ahead of you at this point, because trading and a business in general is long-term gratification. You don't get these things instantly. It takes a lot of time, and a lot of people have good jobs, or they graduate university, or they're at university, and they instantly seem like they're progressing and ahead of you, but you're probably learning, you're not passing funded accounts, you're not consistent, and you might come to a point where you second guess yourself. I've been there, guys, and I'm still progressing. By no means am I talking like a guru or someone that, has made it. I'm progressing, I'm documenting everything on this channel. This is what you need to do, and this is what helped me. Being around like-minded people, communities, this channel. This is why I set up this channel. The main purpose for me setting up this channel was to find like-minded people, and I feel like I'm being successful with that. In the comments, there's a lot of people that we've been commenting back and forth, and we've been talking. And being around like-minded people is so important, because I spent a lot of the majority of my time after leaving school being around those same types of people that you were friends with but didn't understand what you were doing. And all they did was bring you down. They don't believe in you. They put you down negatively about what you're doing. And you don't need that. It's hard enough as it is, and you want to be around like-minded people. So joining a community, I'm now in a community that's, helped me, I know strategy. I know you can talk with them psychologically about different problems. And being around that really helped. Understanding if you want a different outcome, you need to go down the path that most people don't go down. And this is what helped me. When I was feeling low or in a bad spot, and I was sat there thinking, God, what's the point in this? Like, I'm not successful, I'm struggling, everyone else is ahead of me. I thought, but if everyone goes down one path, they're gonna most of the time come out with a similar outcome. If I go down this path, it might be harder now, and it might be difficult, and I might be struggling, but I see people at the other end of where I'm going, and if they can get there, I can get there. Not escaping through hedonism and things like that. People escape how they feel because it's uncomfortable through going out with their friends, going on holidays like roguely. And again, there's nothing wrong with going out or going on holidays, but it's why you're doing it. And I found myself escaping because I was going out. I wanted to get that social element, and I wanted to have the dopamine highs of going out drinking with your friends, but all that did was push me further away from my goal, from my mission of becoming successful at trading and consistent, and inevitably knocked my confidence. So don't do that. Confidence, that, like I mentioned, if other people have done it, that's what helped me. I used to see other people on social media that were legit, that were genuine, that had made it, were doing well, and I thought, if they can do it, all I've got to do is bridge the gap between where I am now and where they are. And it gave me motivation, inspiration, and it made me okay with feeling the way you feel when you're lonely and people don't understand what you're doing. Relentless discipline, sticking to your word, doing what you say you're going to do. This is a tough business. Most people will fail. 95% of people do fail at it. So in order to become part of that 5%, or to be a top 1% trader, you have to be that person outside of trading. You have to trust your word, do what you say you're going to do, and be disciplined, whether that's with the gym, whether that's with your eating habits, whether that's with your trading plan, executing your trading plan that you know works and you know has an edge in a disciplined manner. And treating this like a profession. I went in with the mindset that I knew that this was going to take years to learn, and it's going to be ever evolving, and I'm going to constantly be learning, and not to think I've got there now, I've suddenly here. It's always going to be ever evolving, and I'm still treating it like a profession today. Treating it like an athlete, I wake up, I make sure I go to the gym, I create content for you guys that's going to help, and I trade my plan. That's it. They're the three things I need to do, and I treat it like a profession. So you're on the right path. It's not meant to be easy. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. If it was that easy to make all the money that you see on social media, no one would work. So embrace the pain and isolation, and you'll look back at this time. Sometimes when I look back, and again, I'm not there, I'm not an expert, but I'll look back at a certain time and I thought that was the best thing that ever happened. They're the stories you tell yourself when you're on the other side. That's what I say to myself. If you're struggling or you're lonely or you're not doing well, I'll sit there and go, when I am where I want to be, I guarantee you would be the same. You'll be talking about those times, the grind, the getting up, the struggle, because that's what makes it all worthwhile. As I mentioned, be around people who have your best interests at heart. Isolate yourself from those people. There's nothing worse than being in a group of people that don't relate to what you're doing and putting you down. That can be more lonely sometimes, being in a crowd of people that don't understand what you're doing. So comment down below if you feel lonely. If you want to talk, this is what this channel is about. Type a comment, I'll get back to you. Other people, if they see it, make sure you interact with people that might be on this path. If this video hits home, subscribe. Like I mentioned, follow my journey. I'm trying to be raw, open, and honest. Trading's not meant to be easy. It's a tough thing to do, and you're going to have lonely periods. But that's how I would navigate it, understanding that embrace it. Try to enjoy it. And I know it's weird because it's uncomfortable, but try your best just to think, okay, I'm doing this now so I can have a better life in the future, and I'll sacrifice now and go down the hard path now so I can reap the rewards at the end of it. So yeah, I appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next video.